My child, stop for a moment. I am speaking to you with a seriousness that cannot be softened, and I need you to feel it without fear. This is not casual. This is not light. This is not something you can safely ignore and move past as if nothing happened. I am not raising my voice to scare you. I am leaning close to you because what I am about to say matters more than comfort, more than ease, more than silence. I am risking everything to tell you this. I need you to understand that. Silence would be easier for me. Letting you keep moving, scrolling, filling the space with noise would cost me nothing. But love does not choose the easier path when truth is at stake. Love speaks even when the cost is high, and the cost of speaking now is real. I am willing to bear it because you are worth it. This is not safe to ignore, and it is not because I am threatening you. It is because ignoring truth always carries loss, not loud loss, quiet loss. Loss that happens slowly, unnoticed, until one day you realize something precious faded while you were busy surviving. I am speaking now because I do not want that for you. I would not interrupt you like this if it did not matter deeply to you and to the path before you. Hear me carefully. I am not using fear. I am not using authority. I am bleeding from love. Authority could command, but love invites. Love risks rejection to protect the one it loves. That is what I am doing now. I am placing truth in front of you, knowing you could turn away, because truth matters more than my comfort and more than your temporary ease. Many truths remain unspoken because of the cost of saying them. You live in a world where comfort is valued more than honesty, where silence is praised when it keeps things calm. But calm is not always peace. Silence is not always safety. Sometimes silence allows harm to grow quietly. I will not be silent with you, even if speaking costs me everything, because your life matters more than my silence. I need you to feel how personal this is. This is not for everyone. This is for you. Heaven is not distracted right now. Heaven is attentive. Heaven is watching this moment with solemn care, not because you are on trial, but because this moment holds weight. What you do with truth shapes direction. What you do with truth protects you or leave you vulnerable. I am here to protect you, not control you. Please do not look away. Please do not scroll past. Please do not tell yourself you will come back later. Later feels safe, but later often becomes never. I am speaking now because now is where protection lies. Now is where clarity is possible. Now is where your heart is still open enough to feel this seriousness without closing down. I am risking everything to tell you this because the truth matters more. The truth matters more than keeping things comfortable between us. The truth matters more than allowing distance to grow quietly. The truth matters more than your fear of facing it. And I know you feel that fear. I know part of you wants to pull back, to guard yourself, to say this is too much. But love does not overwhelm. Love steadies. Let me steady you now. I am not angry with you. My love remains steady even in urgency. Urgency does not mean instability. It means importance. When something precious is at risk, love moves faster. That is what you are hearing in my voice. Movement, care, attention. I am not panicked. I am present. You need to hear this because what comes next in your life depends on what you do with truth now. Not everything, not forever, but direction matters. Small shifts early prevent deep pain later. I am speaking now to change direction gently instead of letting correction come through struggle. I would rather speak truth than watch you learn it the hard way. This could cost me everything, and I am still speaking. That should tell you how much you matter. That should tell you how serious this is. I am not here for drama. I am here because love refuses to be silent when silence would harm you. I know you are tired. I know you are guarded. I know you have learned to protect yourself by staying busy and avoiding heavy moments. But this moment is not here to hurt you. It is here to protect you. Hearing this truth can change direction. It can shield you from unnecessary pain. It can bring clarity where confusion has been growing quietly. Please don't ignore this, not because I demand your attention, but because I value you too much to let you walk past what could help you. You need to hear this. Tomorrow, not when you feel stronger. Now, while your heart can still feel the weight without shutting down. I am risking everything to tell you this, because love does not calculate cost when truth can save. I would rather be misunderstood than silent. I would rather be rejected than quiet. I would rather speak now than regret later. That is how deeply I care for you. Stay with me for this moment. Let the noise fall back. Let your defenses soften just enough to listen. I am not here to take something from you. I am here to give you clarity, protection, and a chance to move forward with your eyes open. The truth matters more. You matter more. And I would not be speaking like this if you did not need to hear it right now. My child, I want to help you understand why some truths are risky to speak, and why I am choosing to speak to you now, even knowing the cost. Truth is never dangerous because it is wrong. It is risky because it has the power to change direction, and change always threatens what has grown comfortable, even when that comfort is quietly harming the soul. Say, I receive your peace today, Lord, if you're tired of the storm and long for calm. Truth disrupts what people have learned to manage. Many learn to survive pain by building routines around it. They learn how to live with confusion, how to function with distance, how to keep moving while ignoring what hurts. Truth enters that carefully managed space and asks a question comfort does not want to answer. It asks, is this really life? And when that question is asked, everything that depends on avoidance begins to feel unstable. This is why truth often comes with a cost, not because truth is harsh, but because it refuses to cooperate with illusion. Illusion says, you are fine, just keep going. Truth says, you are surviving, but you were made for more. Comfort prefers illusion because illusion asks nothing of you. Truth asks awareness. Awareness asks a response, and response changes things. I have seen many moments where silence would have protected comfort. Silence would have kept peace on the surface. Silence would have allowed routine to continue without interruption, but silence would also have allowed harm to deepen quietly. That is why love speaks even when it is uncomfortable. Love is not impressed by calm if calm is built on new legs. Love is not satisfied with quiet if quiet is costing you life. When I speak truth, I am not trying to expose you. I am trying to protect you. But protection does not always feel gentle at first. You often feel serious. It feels like being stopped mid-step. It feels like being asked to look at something you hoped would stay buried. And that seriousness is what makes truth feel risky. It threatens the variant of stability built on avoidance. Silence protects comfort, but it harms souls. Silence allows wounds to stay untreated. Silence allows confusion to grow roots. Silence allows distance to feel normal. Over time, silence convinces you that this is just how life is now. That is one of its greatest dangers. It makes loss feel ordinary. It makes heaviness feel expected. And it makes disconnection feel permanent. I have watched silence do this gently, without drama. I have watched people grow used to emptiness, used to strain, used to living without joy. And the world calls that strength. But I call it unnecessary burden, and I will not call it strength when it is costing you life. Truth interrupts that process. Truth names what silence hides. Truth says, this matters, and because it matters, truth often meets resistance. Not because you are bad, but because change requires energy, and you have been tired for a long time. Truth asks you to wake up when you have learned to cope by staying half asleep. There is a cost to speaking truth because truth invites a response. Once truth is heard, pretending not to know becomes harder. Ignoring truth requires more effort than ignoring silence, and that effort reveals where your heart really is. That is why truth feels heavy. It brings responsibility, not punishment, but responsibility to choose awareness over numbness. I speak truth because love does not abandon you to comfort that slowly drains you. Love would rather disturb your peace than allow you to settle into something that will shrink your soul. A disturbance is not cruelty, it is care that refuses to look away. I know you feel the seriousness now. That seriousness is not meant to frighten you. It is meant to wake you gently but firmly. Some moments are too important to whisper through. Some truths cannot be hinted at without losing their power. I am not shouting at you. I am speaking clearly. You live in a world that avoids truth when it costs too much socially, emotionally, or personally. Many choose silence because silence keeps things predictable. But predictable does not mean healthy. Predictable does not mean whole. And love does not settle for predictable when it sees the cost. Truth is risky because it exposes what must change. It reveals where you have been settling. It shows where you have been carrying more than you should, and it invites you to imagine.
My child, stop right there. I am speaking to you now, not later, not someday, not when you feel ready. Right now, I am reaching into this moment and stopping you mid-scroll, mid-thought, mid-distraction, because this is not random and this is not noise. This is not for everyone. This is for you, just you and me. I need you to feel that before anything else sets in your mind. Open this. Yes, this. I know how it sounds. I know what it resembles. But I am not playing games with your attention. I am not using hype. I am not exaggerating to pull you in. I am using language you recognize, so you will pause long enough for truth to reach you. I have a surprise for you, and it is not what you think. It is not entertainment. It is not shock. It is not something meant to impress your mind. It is something meant to touch your heart and realign your life. This moment was prepared not generally, specifically for you. Long before you clicked, long before you paused, long before you even realized you were searching for something without knowing what it was, I saw this moment coming. I prepared it with care. And most people will never experience what you are about to experience, not because they are worse than you, but because they never stop long enough to listen. 99% will move past this without noticing what was offered. They will stay busy. They will stay distracted. They will stay entertained, but they will miss the quiet door opening in front of them. You did not miss it. You are here. That alone matters more than you realize. Timing matters, my child. Later will not carry the same power. Tomorrow will not hold the same clarity. Another moment will not feel like this one. I am not saying that to rush you into fear. I am saying it because moments carry weight, and this moment carries something meant for you now. Delayed moments lose sharpness. Delayed responses cost more than they need to. Let curiosity rise in you, but not the kind that chases excitement. Let the deeper curiosity awaken, the one that has been quietly asking if there is more than this routine, more than this heaviness, more than this cycle you keep repeating. That curiosity is not weakness. It is your heart remembering that it was made for more than survival. I need to be clear with you. This is not entertainment. This is not a trick. This is not exaggeration wrapped in spiritual words. I am not here to impress you or shock you. What is coming will not blow your mind. It will soften your heart. It will shift how you see yourself, how you see your past, and how you see what is still possible. The ending of this moment is not loud, is deep. It does not arrive with fireworks. It arrives with understanding. And understanding changes everything quietly from the inside out. If you ignore this, something unseen will close, not because I am angry, not because I punish curiosity, but because doors do not stay open forever. Some doors close gently, without noise, without warning, simply because the moment passed. I do not want that for you. That is why I am speaking now, with seriousness wrapped in love. Heaven is not distant. Right now, heaven is leaning in, not to judge you, not to test you, but to witness a moment of awareness. Moments like this are watched closely, not because they are dramatic, but because they are rare. You are standing in one now. You are safe here. I know urgency can feel like pressure, and pressure can feel unsafe, but hear me clearly. You are not being pushed. You are being invited. I am increasing seriousness, not fear. I am drawing closer, not looming over you. My love does not change when my voice becomes firm. It becomes clearer. What happens next will change how you see your life, not instantly, not magically, but truthfully. You will begin to recognize why certain things felt heavy, why some paths never brought peace, why your heart has felt restless even when life looked fine on the outside. Understanding is the surprise, clarity is the gift, alignment is what follows. Open this moment fully, open your attention, open your heart just enough to stay present. I am not asking for perfection. I am asking for honesty. I am not asking for promises. I am asking for awareness. I have a surprise for you, and it is this. You are not as lost as you think, not as behind as you fear, and not as disconnected as it is felt. You are closer than you realize, and this moment is proof. Do not wait until it feels safer. Do not wait until you feel stronger. Do not wait until it feels more convenient. Do not wait until it's too late for this moment to do what it was meant to do. Today, listen. Let what happens next begin to change everything quietly, deeply, and truly. You opened this for a reason, and that reason is unfolding right now. My child, you were meant to open this now, not earlier and not later, because timing is not an accident in your life. Nothing about this moment slipped through unseen. I have been watching the quiet path that led you here, the small choices, the pauses, the inner restlessness that kept returning even when you tried to ignore it. You did not arrive here by chance. You arrived because something in you was ready to hear what could not reach you before. Say, I stand boldly in faith, if you're claiming every promise he has spoken over your life. There were other moments when you might have seen something like this and moved past it without a second thought. There were days when your heart was too guarded, too tired, or too full of noise to stop. I did not force those moments. I let them pass, not because I did not care, but because your heart was not yet open enough to receive what I wanted to give without turning away. Timing is not about urgency alone. It is about readiness. This moment is not random because your life has not been random. Even the parts that felt chaotic were forming something in you. Even the delays were shaping your awareness. Even the disappointments were teaching you what empty promises feel like, so you would recognize truth when it came quietly instead of loudly. I have been preparing you through experiences, not explanations. While you were living your days, I was working in ways you could not see. I was protecting you from paths that would have taken more from you than you could afford to lose. I was slowing things down when you were about to rush into something that would have wounded you. I was closing doors that looked good on the surface but carried pain underneath. At times you thought I was absent. I was not. I was careful. There were conversations you did not have, decisions you postponed, opportunities that slipped away, and you wondered why. You thought you missed something. In truth, I was keeping space open for this moment. I was making sure your life did not move so fast that you would miss the deeper call rising inside you. Now, divine timing is not dramatic. It is gentle and precise. It does not announce itself loudly. It aligns quietly. When the time is right, things come together without forcing. That is what you are feeling now. A sense of pause, a sense of being held in place just long enough to listen. That is timing at work. You may think destiny is something far away, something reserved for a different kind of person or a different life, but destiny often begins with awareness, not achievement. It begins when you recognize that this moment carries meaning beyond what it appears to be. Destiny does not always shout. Sometimes it whispers, asking if you are willing to stop and pay attention. I prepared you by letting you feel unsatisfied with surface answers. I allowed you to feel the ache of repetition so you would long for direction. I let you experience silence so you would value clarity. None of that was wasted. It was preparation. It softened places in you that once resisted truth. You were meant to open this now because you are no longer looking for distraction. You are looking for understanding. You may not have named it that way, but your heart has been asking deeper questions. Why does this keep happening? Why do I feel this way even when things look fine? Why does something feel unfinished? Those questions are signs of readiness. This moment carries weight because it comes when you can feel seriousness without panic. You can sit with truth without shutting down. You can sense importance without needing drama. That tells me you have grown. Growth is not always visible, but it shows itself in moments like this. Unseen preparation has been happening within you as well. Your ability to listen has been forming. Your patience has been stretched. Your tolerance for emptiness has worn thin. That is not weakness. That is hunger for something real. Hunger means you are alive and ready to receive nourishment instead of noise. You were meant to open this now because there is alignment happening between what you need and what I am offering. Alignment is rare. It does not last forever. It appears when timing, readiness, and willingness briefly meet. That is what makes this moment precious, not fragile, but meaningful. I want you to sense destiny not as pressure, but as an invitation. Destiny does not demand that you become someone else. It invites you to become more fully who you already are. The path ahead does not require